Hi, I'm Pam, and I'm here to talk about retro video games. I put the question of what game I should review next out to Twitter, and two people who, as far as I know, don't know each other, requested the exact same game. It wasn't a game I had at the time, though luckily enough I managed to snag a copy at Con Bravo last weekend. It's Kid Chameleon. Kid Chameleon was developed by Sega and released for the Genesis in 1992. A new virtual reality arcade game is taking the world by storm, but also taking the kids who fail to beat it. The game's boss, Heady Metal, has been kidnapping the kids who play and lose, which is all of them, so it's up to the eponymous Kid Chameleon to defeat the game in order to save everyone. It seems the idea of someone saving the world with their incredible video game prowess is a story that just doesn't get old. This game is a platformer, and its unique mechanic is the ability for Kid Chameleon to take on different forms that give him special abilities. There's the samurai, who can defeat enemies with his sword or break through certain floors. The Iron Knight, who has the most health and can scale walls. Maniacs, who, surprise surprise, throws axes. Micro-Mac shrinks you down to fly size and allows you to stick to walls. All told, there are a total of 10 different forms that Kid Chameleon can take throughout the game, and in a number of levels, making progress depends on being in the correct form. There are a ton of levels, over 100, some of which are hidden, and with the exception of the beginning levels, they're not particularly linear, so it can sometimes take a while to figure out the right way to go. When you finish a level, you're awarded points based on the speed you went through it, and you can get bonus points for things like never getting hit. As you play, you pick up diamonds, which allow you to use special abilities called diamond powers. You activate these powers by pressing A and start at the same time, which is a bit awkward and results in some unintentional pausing. Each form has one or two unique diamond powers, and they cost different amounts of diamonds, which makes things unnecessarily complex, especially when you don't have a manual. You can also pick up things that will give you extra time to complete the level, extra lives, or continues. The visuals in this game look alright. There's a lot of variation in the environments, and they're very colorful. The sound, on the other hand, I'm not a big fan of. The music is a bit generic, sounds are clunky, which I find is sort of common on the Genesis, and some of the sound effects are downright annoying. As for challenge, I found the game fairly hard, though it was for the wrong reasons. I was constantly fighting against the controls. Kid Chameleon may be the most slippery feeling game I've ever played. Some lack of traction is okay, like playing as Luigi in most Mario games, but I found Kid Chameleon took it way overboard. Precision jumps were difficult to pull off, and by the time I got to the ice levels, where everything got even more slippery, I had had about enough. There's a lot to this game, almost too much. 10 different forms, each with unique special powers that cost differing amounts of diamonds, a dozen different types of terrain blocks that behave differently, secret areas and paths to different levels, plus the fact that there's over 100 of them. All this, and no way to save your game if you're playing the original cart. I'm certainly not against complexity in games, even platformers, but nothing in Kid Chameleon feels particularly intuitive, and a lot of trial and error was needed. So, Kid Chameleon isn't really my cup of tea. The controls are way too slippery, and there's just too much going on for a platformer. I mean, the manual for this game is 32 pages long. As much as I usually praise games for offering variety, the amount of abilities are just too much. It's too much to remember. It seems excessive. And really, this game just lacks the charm of my favorite platformers like Mario or Felix or even Rayman. Despite that, if you want to pick up a copy of the game on Genesis, it's not an expensive one. You should be able to get it for $20 or less. It's also available on the Virtual Console and part of a Sega collection that's available on both 360 and PS3. I think I'll go back to my Nintendo roots for the next video and revisit a game I played as a kid. But anyway, thank you for watching. Likes and shares are always appreciated, and I'll see you next time.